Spring gives us three different ways to configure our application: XML, JavaConfig, and annotations. But in 2025, which one should you use? Today, let's break it down with a live coding demo for all three. Let's start with the classic XML based configuration. This was the default way to configure Spring for many years. Let's jump into the code to understand it deeply and clearly. I have already created a simple Spring configuration demo project. Inside the main resource folder, I have added application context.xml, where we will define all our beans. Before writing any configuration, let's quickly check the POM file to ensure we have the necessary dependencies. Here, we have added Spring context, Spring beans, and SLF4j dependencies to scan this application. Now, let's open the application context.xml file and define our first Spring bean. Beans tag, this is the root tag of our Spring XML file. It tells Spring that this file contains bean definitions. You can think of beans as a container where all bean objects are registered. Bean tag. The bean tag defines an object that Spring should manage. Let's break this down. ID. It is name of a bean. Class. It is fully qualified class name. Spring. Spring will automatically instantiate the object, manage lifecycle, inject dependencies. So, using just one line, we tell Spring, please create object of my service and store it with the name my service. I have created my service class and defined doWork method. This doWork method just prints a message so we can verify the configuration is working. In main class, we have loaded application context.xml file and created class path XML application context object. This is nothing but Spring IOC container. Through container object, we have used getBin method to fetch my service bin. Then we have called doWork method. Let's execute this application to see the output. We can see the message inside the doWork method has printed. That's all about XML configuration. Now let's recreate the same setup using Java-based configuration, which is cleaner and type-safe. We have already created app-config class and annotated it with @configuration. That tells Spring it is a config file. We are using @bin that registers my service into Spring container. In main Java class, we are loaded app-config class and created annotation config application context object. It is a IOC container. Through container object, we fetch the my service bin and call the doWork method. Let's execute this application and see the output. We can see the message inside doWork method is printed. That's all about Java-based configuration. Now let's move to the most popular approach, annotations and component scanning. I have annotated my service class with @component that tells Spring to register my service as a bin inside IOC container. I have created configuration file and annotated it with @configuration. I have used another annotation @component scan that tells Spring to scan this package to gather all the bins of this application. In main annotation class, we have loaded app configuration file and created annotation config application context object. It is a Spring IOC container that is used in annotation-based configuration. With container object, we fetched my service bin and called its doWork method. Let's execute it and see the output. We can see the message inside doWork method is printed. It's all about annotation-based configuration. Now, this is final comparison table. You can pause the video and compare each configuration. Now, which one you should use? You can use this combo, JavaConfig plus annotations. It is modern, clean, required in Spring Boot, zero XML, faster development. You should use XML only for legacy applications. Enterprise app environments still using old config. If this helped you to understand Spring configuration deeply, make sure to like, subscribe and comment. And that's everything you need to know about Spring configuration. In the next video, we will explore Spring Core annotations. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep learning, keep building. Thank you, signing off.